네, 오늘 CEO 인사이트에서는 웹3 인프라 분야에서 주목받고 있는 캠프 네트워크를 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 캠프 네트워크의 제임스 치 CEO 연결되어 있습니다. 안녕하십니까? So, hi James, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone, and thank you again for having me today. My name is James Chi, and I'm the co-founder of Camp Network. We are building the autonomous IP layer where our mission is to transform IP ownership for the AI native economy. Before starting Camp, my career spanned both traditional finance at Goldman Sachs and high-growth technology at Figma. Working closely with companies like Airbnb and Palantir, and later helping scale Figma globally, gave me a firsthand understanding of how much of the modern economy is powered by both digital creativity and intellectual property. But it also became clear that while content creation and distribution have transformed dramatically, the underlying infrastructure for IP, with regards to how it's registered, attributed, licensed, and monetized, has not kept up. Camp was created to solve this gap. We set out to build a trusted, programmable foundation that supports the full life cycle of IP in a world where creators, enterprises, and digital platforms all need clear provenance, transparent licensing, and global interoperability. As someone who was born in Busan and raised in the United States as a Korean American, I have a deep personal connection to both the Eastern and the Western cultures, and it is especially meaningful for me to share my vision for camp with all of you today. Korea has already shaped global culture across music, entertainment, gaming, and storytelling, and I'm excited to share more about how camp can help strengthen and expand that influence even further.
So, what was the background and journey that led you to transition from Web 2 to Web 3?
In terms of my background, I graduated from UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business, where being close to Silicon Valley sparked my early interest in both technology and entrepreneurship. I wanted the broadest exposure to the most innovative companies and founders in the world, which led me to pursue investment banking at Goldman Sachs in San Francisco. During my time there, I had the unique opportunity to work with some of the most exciting companies like Airbnb and Palantir, and saw firsthand how technology could reshape multi-billion-dollar industries. That experience pushed me towards pursuing an operational role after Goldman, where I could help build these type of companies myself. After Goldman, I left to join Figma as one of the early hires on the strategic finance team. It was clear from day one that Figma was building something truly unique. By moving the design process into the cloud, Figma replaced a siloed offline workflow with real-time collaborative creation. This seemingly simple yet profound innovation made design more accessible, social, and global, reshaping an entire category, creating billions in value, and reaching millions of users. Around that time, I came to view blockchain under a similar lens. Blockchain represented an exciting frontier of technology, and while it was early in adoption at the time, I was excited about its future potential of innovating legacy industries, similar to how companies like Figma and Airbnb had done so in their respective industries. As AI adoption accelerated, I saw a similar pattern forming around intellectual property. IP is everywhere, from music to content to patents to research to your voice to data to even your own opinions. IP is and will continue to be incredibly valuable, but it remains constrained by outdated systems, slow contracts, and fragmented databases. Just as previous generations of technology unlocked new forms of collaboration and growth, blockchain, in my mind, represents a way to unlock IP from traditional silos and place it into verifiable, programmable, and shared environments. This realization ultimately inspired me to build Camp, applying the same principles of transformative infrastructure to the world's most important digital asset, which is intellectual property.
네, 다음으로는 팀의 문화 그리고 개발 철학에 대해서 좀 들어보도록 하겠습니다. So I understand that a significant portion of Camp's core members are from Berkeley. So how has this shared background influenced the team's culture and development philosophy?
Yeah, that's a great point to mention. Myself, my co-founder Nirav, our CTO Rahul, we're all Berkeley alum. Berkeley has had a meaningful influence on how we think, how we build, and how we work together as a team. Our shared background shaped a company culture that is not only intellectually curious and product-driven, but also deeply mission-oriented. Nirav spent many years in the TradFi world at the Rain Group, where he worked closely with some of the world's most influential entertainment and IP companies. His understanding of how IP is created, funded, and commercialized has helped shape Camp's approach to real-world partnerships and our emphasis on enterprise-grade IP infrastructure. Rahul brings with him years of engineering leadership across various startups. His unique knowledge across AI, distributed systems, and Web3 has influenced his views on CAMP's architecture to meet the technical demands of an AI-native IP economy. High throughput, verifiable provenance, agent-friendly execution, and interoperability across creative workflows. His background reflects the exact kind of rigorous, research-driven engineering culture that Berkeley is known for. Together, our shared experience at Berkeley has influenced our team's development philosophy. Build with academic rigor, but practical execution. Design systems that solve real problems for both creators and enterprises. And lastly, maintain a culture that values openness, intellectual honesty, and long-term thinking. In many ways, Berkeley shaped our team to view technology not just as innovation for its own sake, but as a tool to rethink how global systems, like intellectual property, should function in the next era of the internet.
네, 그리고 캠프는 어떤 프로젝트인지도 들어보겠습니다. So what exactly is camp? So why was the project created?
CAMP is the autonomous IP layer, and our mission is to transform IP ownership for the AI native economy. What that means in practice is building a purpose-built infrastructure designed to modernize how intellectual property is owned, licensed, and distributed across users and intelligent systems. Before diving into CAMP's technology, it's important to understand why we're building CAMP. We're entering into an era where AI will eventually create a majority of the world's digital content, from images and music to characters, stories, game assets, and more. This shift unlocks massive creative potential, but also introduces serious tension between AI developers and the owners of these existing creative works. Over the past year, we've only seen this tension escalate. There are public disputes between AI models and major IP rights holders. For example, the case between Stability AI and Getty Images raised fundamental questions around whether copyrighted visual works can be used for AI training. Recent conflicts, such as Reddit's licensing challenges with AI companies like Perplexity, along with concerns from creators and studios about the use of their artistic styles in AI systems, all highlight the same underlying issue. How do we protect human creativity in an AI-driven world? If we extrapolate this dynamic between IP and AI into the future, as it currently stands, a world without proper IP infrastructure leads to more lawsuits and prolonged litigation, increasing reluctance for major IP holders to collaborate with IP companies, fragmented or closed ecosystems, and the long tail of creators losing attribution, compensation, and control over their work. This future is not sustainable. The future of AI depends on having trust and clear rules around IP licensing. And this altogether sums up the problem that CAMP is purpose-built to solve. CAMP is creating a world where AI and IP not only coexist, but can become economically aligned. On CAMP, creators can define how their IP is used. AI systems can request access to licensed content, and royalties flow automatically based on verifiable usage. This creates a positive sum relationship where all parties are incentivized and all parties can win. From that foundation, CAMP introduces a deeply technical solution. As a layer 1 blockchain, CAMP pioneers the proof of provenance protocol, embedding IP registration, licensing terms, and royalty distribution directly at the execution layer. This ensures that every IP asset and its usage, including by AI, is tracked, verifiable, and enforceable by code. On CAMP, creators and companies can tokenize any form of IP, establish ownership and define licensing rules of this IP, fine-tune and deploy agents using this licensed IP, program automated revenue flows based on usage and licensing, and even tokenize these agents themselves for ecosystem-wide composability. This architecture creates a shared, trustless foundation where creators, studios, and AI developers can collaborate without fear of misuse or infringement, and where value flows transparently to rights holders, even as AI scales and evolves.
네, 다음으로는 캠프의 IP가 어떤 건지, 어떤 파트너와 협업을 하고 있는지도 여쭤보겠습니다. So what type of intellectual property does camp primarily focus on? So could you share which IP partners you are currently collaborating with?
Yeah, that's a great question. CAMP supports all forms of IP, but we focus on the areas where digital creativity and global fandom are growing the fastest: entertainment, music, gaming, character and story universes, festival IP, and creator-driven content. These categories produce high volumes of digital assets, have deeply engaged audiences, and increasingly require rights-cleared content for licensing, remixing, and AI-driven activation, all of which make them a natural fit for CAMP's infrastructure. In practice, we work with a diverse set of global partners across these categories. Some examples include media franchises like Netflix's Black Mirror, major international music festivals such as DWP, global Web3 cultural IPs like Moonbirds, Grammy award-winning artists including Imogen Heap, Richie Houghton, Deadmau5, and large Japanese conglomerates including Minto and Moriyusa. And we are actively onboarding even more entertainment brands, more creators, and more studios around the world in real time. These partnerships typically unfold in two stages. The first stage is IP registration and provenance. Partners will onboard their IP onto CAMP using our proof of provenance protocol, which provides verifiable ownership, programmable licensing rules, automated royalty distribution, and trusted metadata. This establishes a secure, transparent foundation for enabling their IP to be used by fans, other creators, or intelligence systems. Stage 2 is activation and deployment. Once the IP is registered, partners can activate their IP across different use cases depending on their goals. Some examples include creating derivative IP and expanding global mindshare. We partnered with Rob Feldman and his Psycho KO IP to let users remix those assets using AI and incorporate the derivatives into a newly produced comic book. This expanded the IP's reach while keeping ownership and attribution intact. Another use case is being able to streamline and accelerate traditional licensing flows. Working with Minto and their Mimi and Nico IP, users licensed the IP, generated AI-powered backgrounds, converted them into digital wallpapers, and received automated royalty payouts from the sales of those wallpapers. This process from onboarding, licensing, distribution, monetization, and royalty oftentimes takes months or even years, and we're able to prove out the completion from start to finish in under 5 weeks. We're also seeing how CAMP can enable provable fandom and deeper community engagement. With the Black Mirror franchise from Netflix, we're able to leverage blockchain to verify user engagement from the most loyal fans, enabling the brand to identify superfans, rewarding them with exclusive benefits based on transparent, verifiable participation. There's also growing demand in AI companions trained on licensed datasets. In the future, artists will be able to deploy AI companions trained on their own approved brand and likeness, enabling personalized fan interactions while maintaining rights and revenue flows. Imagine interacting with your favorite artists or your celebrities, and that is a future CAMP is helping make possible. One final use case that I'm excited about is tokenizing music festivals and modernizing event financing. Traditional festival financing is oftentimes slow, expensive, and in some cases predatory, relying on high-interest loans, aggressive revenue share agreements, or intermediaries who take a disproportionate share of upside. With CAMP, we're onboarding several global festivals to tokenize their IP, track provable fandom, and help them access on-chain vaults that can provide upfront liquidity in a way that is faster, more transparent, and significantly more cost-efficient. Instead of relying on legacy financing structures, festivals can raise capital directly from the communities and supporters, align incentives across stakeholders, and unlock better economics for organizers, artists, and fans. Across all of these examples, the common theme is that partners just don't register IP, they activate it. CAMP provides the infrastructure for IP to be securely registered, licensed, monetized, and used by other users and AI systems, while ensuring creators, studios, and rights holders can maintain control and benefit from the value they generate. Our goal is to make these workflows seamless and scalable, so IP owners across industries can participate confidently in the AI native economy.
네, 다음은 시장에서의 캠프의 차별점에 대해서도 들어보겠습니다. So what are the camp's key differentiating factors or competitive advantages in the current market?
What really differentiates CAMP is that we're not treating IP as a feature. We believe IP needs to be foundational infrastructure for the AI native economy. A lot of solutions in the market today focus on NFTs or basic metadata storage, which are useful, but they don't address the real challenges that creators and enterprises are facing as AI content continues to accelerate. Questions around provenance, attribution, licensing, royalty enforcement, and how AI systems can safely interact with these creative assets. CAMP takes on a very different approach than others. We built an IP native layer 1, where all of these capabilities from provenance to licensing to attribution can live directly in the execution layer of the chain. By embedding IP at the protocol level rather than relying on smart contracts alone, CAMP can provide consistent rules, stronger security, and predictable behavior for both creators and intelligence systems. This design lets us support the full lifecycle of IP from registration and verification to licensing, monetization, AI usage, and derivative creation. The other major differentiator at CAMP is that we have real partners with real IP using our network. We're working with media franchises like Black Mirror, major music festivals, global Web3 IP, Grammy-winning artists, as well as major conglomerates globally. These aren't hypothetical use cases. They bring millions of fans and significant IP portfolios, and they're actively using CAMP to unlock new types of IP licensing, AI activation, and fan experiences. So when you put it all together, CAMP stands out because we have a clear focus on IP for the AI era, a technical stack built specifically to support that mission, and real adoption from global partners. Our goal is to really build this core infrastructure that allows creators, enterprises, and AI systems to work together with transparent provenance, programmable licensing, and aligned economics. We're already seeing that vision play out in our ecosystem today.
네, 다음은 캠프가 바라보고 있는 장기적인 비전에 대해서도 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. So what is the long-term vision that CAMP is striving for?
At a high level, our long-term vision is for CAMP to become the IP coordination layer of the entire internet, the core infrastructure that allows IP to be registered, verified, licensed, and used safely in an AI native world. We believe we're entering a future where most digital content is created or enhanced by AI. Creators and studios need verifiable provenance and licensing, and agents require clear rules for how they can interact with IP. CAMP's role is to provide the trusted foundation that makes all of this possible. In this future, AI agents should be able to request and consume licensed IP automatically, with royalties and attribution handled automatically. Fans should have portable, provable identity and engagement histories that unlock global loyalty and reward systems. And cultural IP, from music to characters to entire story universes, should be able to expand into new formats, whether they are games, animations, AI companions, or new digital experiences, without losing control or ownership. A key part of our vision is that CAMP becomes recognized across legal and Web2 ecosystems as the global system of record for IP, a unified layer trusted by creators, enterprises, platforms, and intelligence systems. IP management today is incredibly fragmented across contracts, databases, and intermediaries, and CAMP's mission is to bring all of this into a clear, programmable, and verifiable framework that both humans and machines can rely on. As we continue to execute against our roadmap, CAMP will become the foundation that allows creativity and AI to thrive together in a safe, verifiable, and economically aligned way, unlocking the multi-trillion opportunity that sits within IP, AI, and the intersection of both of these industries.
네, 그럼 캠프의 비전 안에서 한국은 어떤 의미를 가지고 있는지 좀 들어보도록 할게요. So within CAMP's long-term vision, what position or role does Korea occupy?
Korea plays an essential role in our vision at CAMP. Korea is home to some of the most influential cultural ecosystems in the world, from K-pop groups like BTS and Blackpink to globally recognized media franchises such as Squid Game and K-pop Demon Hunters. Korean creativity consistently sets global trends, and the demand for Korean IP only continues to grow. As technology and global distribution evolve, two major forces are accelerating the growth of Korean IP. The first of which is global licensing. Korean IP is expanding rapidly into physical merchandise, digital collectibles, games, animation, live events, and cross-border brand collaborations. These channels are powerful engines for global mindshare, but today's licensing workflows are slow and fragmented. CAMP optimizes this by giving Korean creators and studios the ability to license IP quickly, transparently, and across both physical and digital formats, helping them reach global markets more efficiently while maintaining full control of their rights. The second is the rise of new digital creative formats and ownership models. Korean characters, worlds, and stories are increasingly being adapted into interactive content, immersive experiences, fan-driven creations, and new digital verticals. These new formats require provable ownership, clear attribution, and consistent licensing rules, all of which CAMP provides. But beyond creative formats, we're also entering a world where fans can help fund the next generation of Korean IP. Imagine being able to crowdfund the next Squid Game or K-pop Demon Hunters and gain real, verifiable upside in its success, whether that's revenue participation, on-chain equity-like exposure, or shared ownership of digital derivatives. This is only possible with CAMP's IP and transparent rights infrastructure. And this is exactly where CAMP aligns with Korea's strengths. Korea produces culture the world loves. CAMP provides the infrastructure that allows that culture to continue to scale globally and efficiently across platforms, formats, consumer products, fan activations, and entirely new financing mechanisms. We imagine a future where Korean IP can be licensed and distributed globally in days instead of months. Fans can help fund and co-own the next major K-pop group, drama, game, or franchise, and fan identity and engagement are portable and verifiable across experiences. This represents a significant and mutually beneficial opportunity for both Korean and CAMP that I'm excited to continue exploring here. Personally, returning to Korea in a professional context over the past few years has been incredibly meaningful. I've been consistently impressed by the ambition and the global mindset and the professionalism of our Korean partners, and there's a lot of exciting work to continue doing together. So just wanted to say thank you all again for the support so far. We look forward to building a new era of cultural IP together, powered by Korea's creativity and enabled by CAMP's technology.
네, 오늘 캠프 네트워크와 함께 웹3 인프라의 미래 그리고 개발자 경험의 변화에 대해서 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 소중한 인사이트 전해주신 제임스 치 CEO는 여기서 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 말씀 고맙습니다.
Thank you again.